another guy who's going to be a big loser in 2020 is Tom Brady. You like that transition right there?
Man. Here we go.
But
Tom Brady could do that.
Tom Brady could do that.
No, Tom can't. And here's the worst part. All of these Bucs players are drinking the Kool-Aid to go along with their Hooters wings down in Tampa. That's what they're doing. So Bucs outside linebacker Shaq Barrett, right, yesterday on Get Up on ESPN, was discussing the difference between Jameis Winston and Tom Brady. And take a listen to this, Jonas.
I think James would have made a big jump, but I think with Brady, it just makes it an automatic contender for Super Bowl. With James, I think it would have been a playoff contender. It would have been still a battle for sure, and it's still going to be a battle now. But having Tom, I think we're going to be over the edge and everything. On paper, it looks perfect. We just got to put the work in.
Shaq, stop it! In the words of Chris Broussard, are you kidding me? I want some of what he's drinking. Jonas, stop it. They got the Bucs, who haven't made the playoffs in 12 years, automatic contenders for the Super Bowl in the NFC. Oh, really? Oh, my good, really? This is the same song and dance I heard a year ago. Chris Broussard sitting in your very seat. Oh, the Cleveland Browns. Oh, yeah, watch. They went from 1,000,000 in Vegas to 14-1 when they traded for OBJ. Everybody and their uncle told me, on paper, look how good they are. In fact, Rob G., wasn't there a famous quote? Last year, Jonas, I want you to hear this as well. This is after OBJ joined the Browns.
That's right. Safety Demarius Randall talking to Bleacher Report. This is what he said. They were on the perception that the Browns were being cocky. He said, quote, "It might rub some people the wrong way, but we don't care. We are who we are. We have a lot of people who are comfortable in their own skin. Some people judge us and want us to respond to them judging us. We don't care. And we're not going to care when we raise up that Lombardi trophy. People are going to say, oh, that team was cheating because they had Odell, they had Jarvis, they had Baker. They're going to say we were cheating at the end of the day," end quote.
I mean, look. If you want to
How
play,
did that turn out?
I mean, listen, all I'll tell you is this, and I'm not trying to add fuel to the fire. I'm not trying to pour gasoline on the Rob Parker train so you can continue to run over Tom Brady and back up and run him over again. But I'll just say this. And I'm not trying to speak on conspiracies here, and I don't want to try and stir the pot, Rob Parker, but I also feel like the schedule makers kind of did Tampa Bay a little bit of a favor. I'm just saying, the fact that Tampa Bay, first of all, has a bye week in Week 13, what the hell is that? How does Tampa Bay have a bye week in Week 13? Like, how do you get a bye week?
I think that's for Tom Brady for his rheumatism appointment.
No team had a bye. No team had a bye that late in the year after that. And then last season. And then here's the other portion of it. When do things and we've heard this about Tom Brady over the past several years, when he gets to December and later in the season, the numbers start to take a dip. Like, that's been known because, look, it's cold weather. He's a little bit older. He's playing up in Foxborough. If you look at Tampa Bay's schedule down the stretch, they've got 2 road games. All right, they got 2 road games, the Falcons and the Lions. What kind of stadiums do those teams both play in, Rob Parker? Is that outdoors? Yeah, of course it is. It's indoors. And then the other 2 are at home. I'm not saying that Shaq Barrett, of course he wants to hype his own team and he wants to hype his own existence and their franchise moving forward, but he might be onto something here because the schedule makers have kind of helped out Tampa Bay in this regard, and if there aren't any fans early in the season and they got to go to New Orleans with a significant home field advantage, but now they don't have their fans, it feels like that's also a help to Tom Brady and the Bucs. So I'm not going to say it's the craziest thought in the world. I'm just saying.
It is crazy, and you're reading way too much in the schedule.
Just saying.
What you're leaving out is that Tom Brady was god-awful last year at the end and against the better teams. Tom Brady feasted on the bad teams early on. They were the worst 8-0 team in the NFL. You know that. And when you take a look, Tom Brady's going to be a 43-year-old quarterback. Him and Jameis Winston completed the same percentage of passes. Their numbers weren't that far off. Jameis Winston threw for more yards than Tom Brady. The only difference was the interceptions. And I'll give you that. It was a bigger number. But this whole idea that Tom Brady's going to turn back the clock because he's in college town, Tampa, Florida, that all of a sudden he's going to be a schoolboy all over again. You kidding yourself? Tom Brady moved to Florida to go to the retirement home.
By the way, I love when you can't even get something out without laughing because you know it sounds that ridiculous. That's my favorite part of your delivery. Here's the other thing I would encourage Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans that are really, really excited about all this. And again, I'm not saying I agree with Shaq Barrett. I'm simply pointing out facts here. The one thing that Tom Brady and the New England Patriots have benefited from over the past 20 years is atrocious divisional opponents, bad quarterback play inside the division, and the fact that they, more often than not, at the very least have a first-round bye or home field advantage in the AFC playoffs. And that's the secret to their success. Well, I got news for you. This is, without a doubt, the best group of quarterbacks in a division Tom Brady has ever played against. Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Teddy Bridgewater. The best quarterback he ever competed against in the AFC East was probably Drew Bledsoe, and that was on his way out after New England decided they wanted Tom Brady over Drew Bledsoe. You can sprinkle in Chad Pennington if you want. Here's the other part of this. This is the first year in which only one team from each conference gets a bye in the playoffs. So you're asking him to go play an additional game if they're not the number one seed. So, Shaq Barrett, I get the optimism. You like the schedule. But if I had to choose a side here, Rob Parker, I'm going to choose you, man. I think there's a lot more work that needs to be done, and I'm just not ready to go all in like so many people are. I need to see some things. I need to see the early portion of the season first.
There you go. You finally came around. It took you a couple hours. All right. Are the Bucs and Tom Brady more likely to make the Super Bowl or miss the playoffs altogether? Let's go to Herb in Denver. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Herb?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, man, you got to stop, man, with that hating, man. You just out of control.
Who, me?
Bro, you out of control. Now, wait. Now, you're going to praise Drew Brees, and he's 41. But Drew Brees hadn't won no Super Bowl in his 40s. He only been to one. Brady won the Super Bowl at Drew Brees' age already. So how Drew Brees is so good and he in his 40s.
Did you watch Tom Brady last year? Did you watch Tom Brady at the end of the year in the playoffs? Did you watch him or no?
Yes,
and you're telling me when he comes back at 43, did you watch him play golf the other weekend? Did you see him hit the ball all over the place?
Are you serious?
He was awful.
So because he's a bad golfer, he's going to be a bad quarterback?
Yes.
What's happening? Where's the correlation?
Do you know what I have right here in my hand?
Okay, you do.
I have the pre golf meal that Tom Brady had for a big thing. It was decaf coffee, sodium free bacon, and a chest X-ray. I mean, that's where we are.
It's just so all right. This is. I mean, at some point, if you want to do 10 minutes of stand-up, you got to get past the 90-second mark.
I can't help it. Right? I know. All right.
It's ridiculous.
How about Trucker Don in Boston? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Trucker Don laughed at that joke, didn't you, Trucker Don?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call.
What's up?
Yeah, I had to laugh at that. Was definitely a good one.
Hold on a second. Hey Don.
Thank you.
Hey Trucker Don, can we hear your horn, man?
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's got the virus is the problem with the horn.
Oh,
okay.
Very good.
What do you got for us,
Rob?
Yeah. Well, last night's show, by the way, and I wanted to compliment you early. You might have journalist schools start a new chapter and call it pit bull journalism. You were ferocious with your take on the Isaiah Thomas, but and the Michael Jordan thing. So that was.
He's Isaiah's cabana boy. What do you expect?
Hey Don, I appreciate that seriously, because
I know you do.
When I'm passionate about something, I give my all.
That's why I say they're going to start a new episode for journalism school, and they're going to call it Pitbull Journalism, and they're going to have your picture on it.
By the way,
nice.
You know what I just figured out? Actually, I'll save it for later. I
Go
just
ahead.
figured this out. No. I'll tease it for later. I'll tease it for later.
Well, Rob, I got a cheap shot in here. I got one, right? Because
yes, I know that.
I looked up Isaiah's equipment, and his jersey size was a large. His shorts were a large. his sneakers were a size 13, and under athletic supporter it had your picture.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Rob Parker.
Is that true?
Unbelievable.
That is a stunning development here on
That
Fox
is just
Sports Radio.
painful. Thanks a lot for the call, Trucker Don. How about Tim in Maine? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tim?
Not much, but Rob, how you still have a job is beyond me, dude.
You know what it's called? It's like I went to college. I work hard every day. I put in my energy. I prep. What part don't you get, Tim?
You're talking smack on Brady's season last year, but be real with us. Who did he have other than a one-legged, half-armed Edelman to throw the ball to?
You know
He
what?
had
I'm not
nobody.
buying that. Tom Brady's narrative is Tom Brady does more with less than anybody else, and then all of a sudden, that's his crutch. I'm not buying it, Tim in Maine. I'm sorry.
He
no
took a
way,
one-legged,
no
half-armed
how.
Edelman to the playoffs, but coming back with Evans, Godwin, Howard, a refreshed, revamped Gronk out of retirement,
And
a
that's
pretty
what made him
decent
throw the pick
O-line,
six
an
to end the game?
above-average running
Is that
back,
what made him throw
and
the
he's
pick
gonna
six
miss
at the end of the game?
playoffs.
Stop it, Tim.
Tim, you make it out like Julian Edelman turned into Lieutenant Dan last season. Like, come on, man. For God's sakes.
I want Tim to hear this is the Tom Brady highlight from last year.
Worst throw in 10 years by Tom Brady.
That's right. That was
On
the pick
cue.
six.
Yeah,
that
on
was the
cue.
pick six.
That's on your iPod. What are you kidding?
Are you kidding? That's my ringtone. When my phone rings, I hear this.
How do you have a job? I love
Worst
that.
throw in 10 years by Tom Brady.
I want you to think about it. This is the insanity of sports talk radio. I want you to think about that. In the middle of a pandemic, when unemployment rates are skyrocketing because you say something bad about a former quarterback of his favorite team, he doesn't want you to be employed.
Right.
Just think about that.
Unbelievable.
That's sports talk radio in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen.
Do we have time for Jake or no? All right,
What are
Jake,
you
real
asking me
quick in
for?
D.C. Jake, you're on the Odd Couple
Yeah.
Fox Sports Radio.
How you guys doing? Great show.
What's up,
Thank you, bud.
All right. I want to say the Bucks are going to be a high Super Bowl favorite this year. I think when Rob compared them to the Browns in OBJ situation, OBJ can't throw the ball to himself. So I think you can't. You know what I'm saying? Compare
You're
that
right. He's not
situation.
43
But,
years old and broken down. You're right. He can't throw the ball to himself. You guys,
No, but I'm
Jake,
saying,
Jake,
with the catch-
Jake, I get the point that they don't play the same position, but when OBJ, Jonas, joined the Browns, did people not go gaga over them?
Of course.
Stop it.
Look, this happens every single season. Somebody wins the offseason and we
Yes.
turn it into a big deal. You remember when there was that NBA or NFL, was it a lockout or a holdout? I get them confused. But I forget which one it was. It was in 2011. And you remember what happened? All of a sudden, the Philadelphia Eagles signed Nnamdi Asomugha and all of these free agents.
Yep.
And it was like, oh, my God, the Eagles are going to be the team to beat. They're so loaded. And they went 8-8.
That's
like, come on.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. Great
You got
point.
you got to wait to see how this thing plays out. I just do, and I know you're not big into this, but I do feel like that late bye week and that December schedule, that's an advantage for Tampa Bay, and that's why I'm holding off on ready to bury Tampa Bay completely because I do think they have some advantages there.